Hey, what's going on, Playboys? This is your boy CGOD. What's happening? What's happening? We are back once again today on this pink truck. You know, just trying to make it better, make it more functional and whatnot. So, first things first, this bandana right here. That's what was shoved into our fuel filler there, but it's kind of inconvenient being like that. So I think I'm gonna chop this neck and then connect it a lot closer. That way it's not as funky, you know? And yeah, just kind of shorten the whole assembly here. That way it's not as ghetto. It's still gonna be kind of ghetto, I mean, obviously, you know? But we're gonna go ahead and do that. As well as I got some wheel spacers. So it's only like 1/4 inch or so for the front. That way we can try to get away from the brake booster a little bit, as well as, you know, kind of poke the wheel out just a tiny bit, so it looks, you know, just that much more gangster. And we also are going to do a little bit of fender work right here, because on the inside it has like some weird like metal, so I plan on shaving that, and then we should be able to like roll the fender a little bit more, hopefully. But we'll see, we'll get to that after. First things first, we're gonna hit the fuel neck real quick, so hopefully it works out nice. And there we have it, boys. Got her all trimmed up now. Looks a little bit more legit. It's no longer just laying on the notch cover there, and it's got the cap. We got all the unnecessaries taken care of. When actually filling it up, you probably will have to hold this bad boy, you know, but I mean, it is what it is, you know. A little bit of two-hand operation, never hurt nobody. I would stick it up higher, or like make it a little bit more sturdy to where you wouldn't have to hold it, but then I mean you would see it. So like, as you could see from the side view, you don't see it, you know what I mean? So kind of trying to keep it low-key, even though it's, I mean, it is what it is, boys. Y'all see what the heck I be doing. So basically, let me give y'all a couple tips. So this thing is slammed, right? Clearly. So as you can see, I got a brick underneath of it. You drive up onto the brick, and then I'm able to put the jack underneath to get her up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll bring y'all right back. All right, guys, so basically we got the truck all yacked up, you know, pulled the front wheels off. So the spacers basically just slip on like this. They're only 1/4 inch, you know, so they're not massive. Should still have plenty of threads, hopefully. And also it should give us a little bit of clearance for all our internal stuff, so that's cool. But yeah, so I've got our tools here, which is a fucking big ass hammer and a grinder and stuff. Like I said, right here you could see this, well, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's like a nasty crack right here, right there. Yeah, you might be able to see it, I don't know. But inside of there, there's like a piece of metal that I need to take care of. That way I can finish rolling it. I actually have a fender roller. I don't know if I'm gonna put that on here or not, but I might try to like flare the fenders out just a little bit, you know, just to give me that max turn radius. And then inside here, this is our issue. This is the brake booster. Now, I've beat it up a little bit before, but I'm gonna try to beat it up some more. And I'm also gonna look and see like where else we could possibly be hitting. That way I can just take care of all of this stuff. Like right here, I don't know if that's necessarily hitting or not, but I may just cut it out. And then right here as well, this one kind of looks new, so it may be rubbing right there. So I might just have to move this harness as well and then cut that bad boy. I don't really know, to be honest with you. It kind of looks like it rubs there too, but I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully our little 1/4 inch spacers here help us with all of these issues. And yeah, if that's the case, then hopefully we're good, you know. I don't really see where else it'd be rubbing. What I also plan to do is whenever I drive, my steering wheel is kind of turned to the left, and I believe the truck is towed out, so that would also make it a little bit harder for us to turn in the sense of like rubbing and stuff. So I'm gonna tow this side in a little bit, like the tiniest bit, just to see if it makes a difference. It may or may not, but I believe the alignment's off anyway, so it doesn't matter. But eventually I do plan to align it using my toe plates to do it the proper way, but this is just like for right now, just to get us by, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna get on to it, boys. Okay, boys, so we basically got her done now. I believe we'll be tucking and turning. So to recap, step 1, beat shit with the hammer. Now the nice thing about having a not so nice truck, I mean, it's still street quality, you know, it's gonna break your neck, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is, boys. So if that doesn't work, beating it with the hammer, cut it with a grinder. Third of all, use zip ties, secure your shit, boys. And then 4th step, if you still can't get it, run these spacers. Hopefully they do work. So what we did in here is we went ahead and we mashed our brake booster just a hair more. If it'll focus, there we go. So we mashed that bad boy just a little bit. We got these wires here, you can see where it was starting to rub them already. Got them more turned that way. We beat our tub up some more here to get it to go. Cut this bad boy clean off right here. And did a little bit more fender work. It's rolled like real flat now, boys. So we should be gas. I did do the alignment on the other side a tad. On this side, basically all we did was cut that piece right here and I was able to roll it up a little bit more. But this fender is already like fucked. I don't think there's really much saving it. So yeah, that one, I mean, it is what it is. I don't really have any trouble on this side really. It's just whenever you make the right turns, it'll rub, you know, but that's expected when you tuck in, you know. But the fender roller does indeed not fit on these 6-lug hubs, so that was a no-go. I might try to beat this one a little bit more. I just don't like the way this right here looks. I don't know if you're able to see it or not, but it's pretty messed up. And then it looks like bent inward, so I'm gonna try to bend it out, but I've kind of been having trouble because it's so flimsy, you know. But yeah, boys. So like I said, we did indeed adjust the tie rod also on this side. Nothing too major, just like I did maybe like 1 full turn of the tie rod, just towing this side in, so it'll bring my steering wheel hopefully a little bit more straight. I don't know if the steering wheel was swapped or something, but the blinkers seem to work normally, because like my steering wheel, like say this is straight up and down, right? Well, this bad boy sits like over here, and normally whenever you turn, you know how the blinkers like auto cancel, it still works both sides. So I don't know if they just put the steering wheel on in the wrong position, you know, because there's a bunch of little splines that it can go on, or if the alignment is just bad. So we're gonna see how it goes and then we'll make adjustments from there. But I think we're gonna go ahead and put the wheels back on it, set her down, see how it looks with the spacers, and basically take it for a test drive, boys. See if we made some improvement on it. Should be able to turn like a savage. I'm not gonna lie, like on some hard bumps, that left side, even while going straight, whenever the tire like goes up, it has like a small rub. So hopefully we got that taken care of. So I don't know, boys, wish me luck. Yo, so we may have taken it just a tad too far, boys. So I hopped back in the truck, you know, set it back down on the bricks, went to go to try to back it off. Brakes as hard as a motherfucker, boys. Harder than heck, dude. So I've come to the conclusion that we have a leak on our brake booster, and this is kind of what I've done. So as you can see, there's a seam. Hold on, let's see if I can. Yeah, so there's a seam right there, right? Like this piece. And it started leaking right here where I was beating it. So I went ahead and just hit it with a bunch of silicone. Now, I believe it would hit other things before it hits the silicone, hopefully. But regardless, I'm going to let this sit for like a day or two at least. But yeah, so you can see we got our wiring and stuff. I think I might have already showed that, but yeah, bro. So we got that all knocked out. Hopefully our brakes get a little tiny bit better. I was looking at doing like a manual brake kit that completely gets rid of the booster, but I mean, I don't really care to do it to this truck. I'll probably do it to my red one over there in the garage. And it basically, like, instead of doing the hydro boost setup or whatever, it basically just gets rid of the the brake booster, the big circular thing that I beat with the hammer there, and the cylinder itself mounts on the firewall, and it gets raised up a little bit, and you change the position on the pedal so you get more leverage, you know what I mean? That way it's not as hard. But yeah, so there's that. So I guess the only thing left to do I'm gonna set her back down on the bricks, and I'm gonna just let this shit chill for a day or two, you know. Yeah, so we'll check this out. So here you can see like the wheel kind of like pokes out a good bit, and it's all towed in. And then as you set her down, she slowly, ever so slowly, starts coming down. And you'll see it start like cambering in, and then it starts to tow out also. So yeah, basically these trucks, especially like on a slammed one, you want to get what's called like a bump steer kit. Because I don't know if you can see inside of here, but the tie rods, they're all like at an upwards angle coming out of the steering rack, right? So with that, whenever you hit a bump, it'll basically like turn your wheel in or out because your tie rods are at such like an extreme angle. So like instead of having it flat, you know, where you're like your distance here, like say the end of the wheel right there where the end of my fingers are at is where it connects to your knuckle, right? Well, whenever your shit's like this and then you hit a bump, it pulls it in a lot more. So that's why it's called bump steer. You hit a bump and it, you know, it'll just take you all over the place. So basically what that does is it mounts your tie rod underneath and makes it more straight. That way whenever you hit bumps, your wheels don't turn in and out so much. But this is taking too long, boys. I just wanted so that you guys could kind of see, but either way, there's that. So the little spacer, I mean, like I said, probably didn't make too big of a difference. I have like a 3-finger gap from wheel to fender, you know, so I mean, I can honestly probably fit 4, but tight 4. Either way though, that's how she sits, and it does indeed turn very well. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it and let that silicone harden up and dry or whatever it needs to do. So yeah, that's where we're at. And as you can see, honestly, it still kind of looks towed out a little bit. The other side looks straight, but this side, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's also just how the fenders are. So I don't always take that into account until I actually put the toe plates on it, you know, that way I can actually see what it is. Then that's what we'll go off of. Because I mean, this was just kind of ballparking it. That's how I felt it was. And yeah, so just be weary of that. Some, like, you could kind of see how the fender goes like this, so it's very hard to gauge your toe off of just that. It may honestly be good, but no one really knows, you know. This side looks good in my opinion, you know, like if you look at it, like it looks kind of squared out, whatever, but we'll do that eventually. Should probably actually do that here soon, because I took it to work, which is a little bit of a highway drive. So look at that rear tuck. Oof. And then that rear bumper, boys. Damn, we're doing it to this thing. Yo, so yeah, I mean, I tried to silicone that bad boy, but it didn't really work. I went out, tried to drive it, you know, and the brakes are still pretty hard, you know, but upon driving it, like, I mean, it's manageable, you know, like I can stop it. So it's not that big of a deal, but as I continued to drive it around town and stuff, I noticed that the brakes are starting to just like stay engaged a little bit, you know, like you like put it in gear and the truck won't even move, you know. You let off the gas and then it'll kind of just like start slowing down by itself, you know. So I don't know, I think we done messed it up though, boys. I'm gonna probably end up doing something with that brake booster, because it's just not gonna work, you know what I mean? Like, I just drove it around town and stuff, and upon getting out, you could smell the brakes, because they were, like I said, were just engaged and stuff. So it's no good, you know, no good at all. So we are indeed going to go a different route with our brake booster setup, and I'm gonna try to figure that out. I kind of want to do like a manual brake setup. I think that would be sweet. But our fuel setup looks sick though, a lot more cleaner, I guess, or something. Still the giant hole in the floor right there, but oh well. But yeah, so there we are, boys. We're rocking. We got our new bumper and stuff installed. She's looking decent-ish, kind of. But yeah, here's just a little quick walk around for y'all. It does look sick. The turning abilities are dope. Once I put, if I do go with the manual brake setup, I probably will actually take the spacers off, just so that we're not into the fenders as much. Because it, you know, the spacers pushed it out, so it's gonna hit the fenders earlier than it would have normally.
Alright, Chef Boy, our homies, so we did go ahead and do a manual brake setup. Not the one I was talking about, but basically I just went ahead and chopped her clean up, boys. Now this diaphragm separator thingy in the middle is what was causing the brakes to stick, because it's basically just, you know, super duper ghetto. But I went ahead and cut the holy shit out of it, so our turning abilities should be A1. I did go ahead and pull the spacer off, as you can see. So I also went ahead and I adjusted these little upper A-arm adjusters to like fully positive. I don't know if you can see that one, but so hopefully whenever I put this wheel back on and set her down, I'm gonna do the other side also, because I feel like the camber wasn't like the same on both sides. So hopefully I could set it down and she's sitting A1 with minimal camber, as little as possible. That way we could save our tires as much as possible. But yeah, so basically, I mean, you can see here our brakes are free now, and we should be able to turn. It is a bit stiff, obviously, you know, because you don't have no vacuum help you, but it is what it is, boys. We should be able to function now. I mean, it still stops and stuff, you know, so I mean, worst comes to worst, you just got to 2-foot pedal it, like, you know what I mean, really give it to it if you're ever in a jam and you need to turn or stop quick. So let me go ahead and hit that other side right quick. We'll set the truck down and I'll bring y'all back. All right, so here we have it. She full locks both ways now. The camber looks almost kind of even. Let's do a finger check. So this one is like a loose 2-finger. Low key, this one looks more already. Yeah, this one's a loose 3-finger. So I might have to add some camber to the passenger side. I don't know why it's uneven, who knows, you know, but that's the best I can do. This side is full positive as well as the other side, but I mean, that's just how it's gonna be, brothers. So as you can see, we do got that tuck, boys, that firme tuck, you know. Tell me we haven't cleaned this bad boy up a shitload since we got it. Look, you got that little tuck all around, boy. Little baby tuck though. I do want it to tuck more, but at the same time, I don't necessarily want to lower it more. Actually, I do. I'm lying. It's really maybe like a 7-11 drop. So I'd love to squeeze a 12 out of the back, just to really make sure motherfuckers know it's tucking. And then in the front, like a 7.5. Because I mean, like if you look at it, like it barely tucks, you know what I mean? So maybe like a whole inch in the front. But I mean, all I got to do for that is cut the springs. So this side looks better, but I think it's just because it has the added camber. So I mean, yeah, this side has a little bit more like of a tuck to it. So I'll probably adjust the camber again on this side. And then if I do lower it some more, I'll pull both the springs out and just make sure that they're cut equally, hopefully. And then for the rear, I mean, it's like a flip kit, which is 6-inch, 2-inch shackles, and a 3-inch block. So if you add all that shit together, it's only like an 11-inch drop. Now they do have a Chevy lean, so you can see this side tucks like that, and this side, it's about the same, low key. But yeah, boys, that's probably gonna be it for this one though. Thank you guys for watching. If you stayed this far in the video, y'all some real ones. She's a lot more drivable now. Brakes aren't sticking. She feels like she's got full power. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, doggies. I'll catch you later. Deuce.